backlight. That's what people tell you. I disagree. You can never have enough. You never know what you're going to need. You never know if something's going to get broken. Oh, that's why I got myself Tilliketi. Tell you who else you shouldn't listen to? Those guilds. Don't use forbidden magic, they say. You'll get corrupted, they say. Well, since I've been using it, I've got way more done. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the latest expansion for Maladum. It's called the Forbidden Creed. Let's open up the box, take a look inside, see what you get in it, see what you can do with it, and how it changes the game. Hi, I'm Ben, we're Battle Systems, and this is the Forbidden Creed. Let's take a look in the box, I'll show you what you get. Okay, first of all, we've got a whole bunch of new characters. Some of them you can use as adventurers if you want, but if you're playing this campaign, then you're going to be using them as enemies. We have a whole bunch of new classes as well to unlock. Most of them are related to using forbidden magic. We also have some companions here. Companions are a new class of character that you can take along with you as part of your party, but don't count towards your cap of 4 adventurers. So they're very handy. They provide a bit of extra firepower or a bit of carrying capacity. Very useful. We'll go into those in more detail too. We also have a whole bunch of new equipment that you can pick up. We have some portals that you'll be able to summon in, and we have these tethered tokens, which we'll talk to you about in much more detail in a minute. This is the book that comes with it. There's rules for how to use forbidden magic in here. There's rules for how to use the companions. There is obviously the campaign itself. We also have some information about the different terrain that is going to come in this pack. And here is the terrain. Lots of lovely stuff to show a ruined keep, which is in the Mirror Mountains, so it's all snowy and cold. Show you that too. In here, we've got the miniatures. So we have some new adventurers. We've got the companions. We have the Maladite column, who is going to be a tough opponent to be facing when he's wandering around. We also have the Ascendant himself. He's the centerpiece of this box. We've got some new dashboards, so that you can use those for the Cabal. Got a whole bunch of new event cards. These ones are specific to this new terrain mostly, so they're all about being out and about in the mountains and dealing with things like storms and whatever. We've got cards for tracking the campaign and dealing with the Cabal to make that nice and quick and easy to refer to, and for the Ascendant as well, of course. We also have new hidden locations. We have new side quests. So there's absolutely loads in here, and that's not even including all the stuff relating to the forbidden magic, which gives you new spells. You have this new die to roll, which has different effects to the normal magic die. So lots to get our teeth into. So let's get cracking on it now. Let's start with taking a look at the characters. So first of all, we have the new adventurers. That's these 3 here and this one here. For the purposes of the campaign, these 3 are the Cabal, and you won't be able to use them while this campaign's running because they'll be your main opponents. And then you also have Numenor over here, who can turn up as an NPC or you can run as an adventurer. Numenor is an interesting character because as an adventurer, he's got quite a lot of health, but he also has a decent number of magic pegs. So he'd make a great paladin, or if you have someone you want to be able to channel an item regularly, he's got plenty of pegs to be doing that with. As an NPC, he's also pretty tough, and he's going to be dishing out quite a lot of damage. We have the Wandering Beast, this Maladite golem. He is very tough. He also is kind of dependent on the amount of magic in the area around him, and he will disappear eventually if it all runs out. But while he's around, he's dangerous, he's hitting hard, he's very difficult to get rid of. He's got a lot of health, so you don't want to be tangling with him if you can avoid it. Then we have the companions. These are additional to your party, so you can have your full party and then you can recruit these companions in. They are really useful utility assets to your team because you can have, say, Riki, who's going to be there dishing out a bit of extra damage. You've got Tilliketi, who can carry around extra equipment for you. You've got Miri, who's healing you up or restoring pegs that you need. Of course, if you get a blunder when you're trying to activate it, you are also going to then get corrupted, but rough with the smooth. In addition to the named companions, you can also flip the cards over and you get a generic version which gives you a similar set of abilities but allows you to use any model you like. And that really allows you to customize the game and make it your own. The other thing about companions is that you can level them up like you do with an adventurer, which is great because then they'll become a bit stronger, a bit more durable, have more things that they can do. In a similar vein, you can also choose, instead of taking a companion, you could take an apprentice, which is a trainee adventurer. They don't have a class yet, they're a bit more fragile, but they're another pair of hands, another place to store stuff when you're trying to carry around all your loot. So a really useful thing to have, and if you can level them up, they will then turn into another adventurer. So might be something worth investing in over time. Then there's the Ascendant, and the Ascendant is the spirit of a dead Maladar, and the Cabal are trying to take control of it to harness all that power for themselves. He is very difficult to deal with, so you've got a ton of armor, you've got a lot of damage being dished out, you can cast spells from the forbidden magic list. He doesn't work the same way as a normal character does. He's connected to a master, he's going to be pulling on their magic pegs, for example, and their health when you're attacking him, but he's also going to be buffing them in return. So you're going to be wanting to try and wrestle control from the Cabal, so you get to exploit all those abilities yourself. We'll go into that in more detail later. Okay, let's talk about forbidden magic. Using Maladum without training is dangerous and can lead to you becoming corrupted. There are some people who don't care, some people who don't know, and these people are known as unsanctioned Maladar. These unsanctioned Maladar classes have this mark on them, and that means that they can access the forbidden magic spell list. This opens up a whole bunch of new things for them. First of all, instead of rolling the normal magic die, they use this forbidden magic die. If you roll well, it's going to give you 2 magic pegs back, which is very helpful, but it can also end up corrupting you, it can also end up hurting people around you, so some pros and cons to using it. Forbidden magic comes with some great spells, so you're going to be able to damage everybody within a short range using the Hail of Malicites. You can summon in creatures to help you, you can drop a portal on someone you want to get rid of, so really useful stuff that you can do with it. You can curse people so they're having to re-roll their successful results. This is the dark reflection of the blessed status. If you know how good it is to be blessed, then you'll know how bad it's going to be cursed. You probably want to do something about that. You could cast Bless on yourself to get rid of it, or in the assessment phase, if you get a 6 on a magic die, then you are going to be able to remove that status effect. One way or another, you probably want to get rid of it as quick as you can. So really handy, but it does come with a drawback, which is sometimes it's going to corrupt you, and corruption is pretty nasty. But it does come with an upside, and that upside is if you're using a forbidden magic spell and you cast it using 1 magic peg, you can boost it up as if you've used more magic pegs, up to the amount of these corrupted pegs you've got on your dashboard. You're going to want to keep an eye on that though, because if all of these health pegs become black, then you are going to go out of control. You're going to be attacking friend or foe indiscriminately. It's not just a short-term problem either, because once you do potentially regain control of that character, you're going to mark off one of these spaces here, and that means every game you're going to start with 1 point of corruption. If you get to a point where all of your health is marked out with this cross, then your character is lost forever. They're so corrupted that they can't be used for any reason. So the temptation's always going to be there, but it's never without risk. This expansion comes with a campaign. It's an epic struggle where you're going to be fighting against the Cabal to stop them taking control of the Ascendant and unleashing all sorts of problems onto Emverom. If you succeed, you're going to be heroes and you're going to get a whole bunch of benefits from that. If you fail, there's going to be a lot of ongoing effects that are going to make your life difficult in future games that you're playing. It's a great showcase of all of the new themes, the forbidden magic, the Ascendant. So it's going to get those all nice and familiar for you, so you can then introduce those into other games later as well if you want to. This is a campaign that's going to challenge you. It's not for a starter party, I don't think. My quite experienced party almost had a total party kill because some of these quests you have to hang around to the scary end of the Dread Tracker. There's a lot of different opponents going on. The Cabal themselves are not to be tangled with lightly. They have quite a lot of strength. When they're hooked into the Ascendant, which they'll often start a quest linked to, they're going to have access to extra magic pegs. Phaedra, for example, is very strong. She's a lot stronger than she looks because her warded status can be boosted by spending magic pegs, and she's constantly topping those up for herself, but also from the Ascendant. You only have to go and take a look at the actual play that Tom and Dan did recently to see how dangerous she is. And then in addition to that, you've got other members of the Cabal and their companions that they brought with you. So it's going to be quite a challenge. Don't go into it without planning ahead, getting yourself leveled up a bit, I think. You're going to be travelling all through the Mirror Mountains, trying to find out where the Cabal are operating from. When you track them down, you're going to be trying to weaken them and chip them away a bit. A few of the quests are going to see you trying to wrestle control of the Ascendant off of the Cabal. If you can do that, suddenly everything's going to swing much more in your favour because you're going to have this powerful magic user on your side instead of on their side. The Ascendant is going to have a master, and that is determined by your tethered status. This is a new status which is tracked with these tokens here. You're going to be boosting that by being in proximity with him, or also if you're carrying one of these artifacts, that's going to give you a boost to your tethered status. And in some cases, the Cabal are going to come with these items on them, so they're always going to have that head start on you. So it's going to take you quite a while to try and wrestle that control over all the time. The Ascendant's going to be attacking you probably. The Cabal are going to be throwing stuff at you. So it's no easy thing, and it's going to be pushing you up that Dread Tracker, so of course you're going to have the normal Revenants to deal with as well. So it's a lot of fun, but it is a challenge. And like I say, I almost lost my entire party in one quest, and they're quite well leveled up. To help you keep track of some of this stuff, we have obviously a nice little campaign log that you'll probably have seen from other campaigns. We also have some reference cards that can help you track what the Cabal can do and how the Ascendant works. Also, don't underestimate the Ascendant himself. He's going to be floating through walls and appearing where you don't want him. He's hitting you hard, he's casting magic spells at you, he's firing at you from a range. It's a whole thing to deal with. But all in all, it makes for quite a refreshing new change to the game if you've been playing Maladum for a while. There's quite a lot of new things that are going to start affecting you and you're going to have to start taking into account. And it's going to keep you on your toes, that's for sure. This expansion comes with some new terrain. This is to reflect the Mirror Mountains setting. It comes with this sepulchre, these arcane pillars. It's obviously got this snowy texture to show the mountainous terrain that it's in. You've got a multi-level setup, which is going to change your tactics and the way you play, as you'll probably know if you've played our other expansion, Oblivion's Maw for Maladum. To go with that, we have these cards, which are going to reflect that setting. So you've got some things like cold blasts of wind, which may blow you off the bridge when you just don't want it. We also have, while we're talking about event cards, we've got some that are specific to the Cabal, which are going to boost them or change things up whenever they're around. Of course, you can shuffle any of this into your normal deck if you want to mix things up in your other games. So lots of versatility coming in from this. If you want to enhance your game and you really want that extra little bit of immersion, we do have a Frosty Crags map that you can go and buy. It's not included in this set, but it does go perfectly with it. So it's a great match if you want to go and grab one of those. One of the best things about picking up an expansion is getting your hands on some new and exciting tools to do your adventuring. This expansion is no different. We've got 50 tokens in there. We have items that are going to help you to connect to the Ascendant and become its master. We have some items that are related to forbidden magic, so we have items that allow you to cast curse or protect against it. We have items that allow you to purify your character and get rid of corruption. We have items that allow you to channel forbidden magic to have an effect, such as this one, which allows you to cast curse when you're using your sword. We have some items that allow you to summon in specific companions. We have some unique and interesting items as well, such as the Quellifier, which allows you to use 2 actions in a row, and then nobody can spend magic pegs within short range of you, which is really helpful, especially in this campaign. and then this nasty little knife, which allows you to not only hurt someone, but also throw them into another dimension. You might also be lucky enough to pick up some relics, such as the Ascendant blades. If you can get the right crafting materials for them, they are going to make a really potent addition to your adventurer's arsenal. And that's the Forbidden Creed expansion. As you can see, there's a lot to get your teeth into. You've got dangerous foes to face off against, you've got an evocative setting, you've got forbidden magic to deal with for good or for bad, you've got companions that are going to help you out or they're going to hinder you if they're on the other side, not to mention a whole bunch of lovely new loot to get your hands on. So, I can't wait for you to get your hands on it and have a go with it, and until then, happy gaming! You know, come to think of it, maybe I shouldn't have cast all of those spells.